Good morning friends and welcome to the pre-market view. Very happy Janmashtami to all of you. Friends, global markets have been quiet across US and Europe for the past 2 days. But when we talk about the European markets, they are actually quoting at 2012 high levels, which is quite comforting given that there were a lot of negative news flow and the outlook there was extremely negative. So in that backdrop, when we look at the equity markets, they are at the high of 2012. When we look at the Asian markets today, the key markets are down about 0.5% and some of the minor markets are slightly up. But really no major movement across the Asian markets, and SGX Nifty is also suggesting that we are going to have a slightly weaker opening, about 10 to 12 points down. When we look at the flows, friends, it continues to be the same picture. FIs were buyers in the cash market to the tune of 337 crore and the domestic institutions were sellers to the tune of 754 crore, which is quite a huge number, and we haven't really seen this kind of a selling for the past about 10 to 12 days. On that backdrop, I would like to invite Shaival to take us through the important F&O cues and the outlook from the F&O side.
Good morning friends. In yesterday's trade, what we have seen is that the FIs were net buyer of around 133 crore, which is a marginal amount, whereas what we have seen is that some long positions were accumulated in yesterday's trade, which has supported the market to hold on above the mark of 5,300 level. Whereas on the other hand, friends, what we have seen is that the implied volatility has cooled off marginally, which has been indicating that the overall bias for the market is still positive and buying will continue to emerge at lower levels. Now what we have seen is that the concentration of activity on the open interest has shrunk down, or say narrowed down to limited strikes. We have seen that 5,300 put option has seen a good activity, whereas 5,100 put option has seen a good activity, or say stands with the highest number of shares in the open interest. Whereas on the call side, 5,400 call option stands with the highest number of shares, and on higher side 5,700 call option has seen a good activity, which is currently out of the money. So friends, what we feel is that 5,400 would act as a hurdle for the market, but if markets are able to take off those levels, then probably 5,500, 5,550 on the higher side can be seen. As we are trading above the weekly VWAP, our bias for the market is still positive. So what we recommend is that any dip in the market can be taken as an opportunity to go long, and if one finds an opportunity around say 5,300, 5,330 levels, one can accumulate long positions. Now from the intraday perspective, as we have said that our bias for the market is positive and we recommend to buy on dips. So what we recommend today is one can buy Hindalco call option of 130 strike with stop loss of 80 paisa and target of 2 rupees 50 paisa and 4 rupees. And also we are betting on Nifty. So what we have done is we have bought a call option of Nifty 5,400 strike with stop loss of 30 rupees and target of 70 and 90 rupees.
Friends, back home also our market has been quiet for the past 2 days, and though there has been a substantial amount of inflow and the market has actually gone up, but we believe that somewhere around this 5,380 to 5,400 levels, it's becoming a little difficult to cross that, and which is also reflected in the way the 5,400 call strike open interest has been built up. So one will have to wait and see how the market negotiates these levels over the next few days. Also friends, in terms of important news, we had an IIP number being announced yesterday, and that was quite a shocker at about minus almost 1% against the expectations of about 0.5 to 1% kind of a positive number. And we've seen that the IIP number has been quite bumpy over the past few months. But the fact of the matter is that there is a huge slowdown which is looming, even if you look at the quarterly numbers or if you look at the sectoral breakup of the IIP, particularly the capital goods segment and even the consumer non-durable segment is showing negative growth, and the overall economy, it suggests that is contracting, which is quite a negative in terms of sentiment, which we should keep in mind. Talking about the company specific news, ONGC's discovery near Mumbai High could raise the output by about 25,000 BPD. So we are suggesting a go long call on ONGC with a stop loss of 274 and a target of about 289 to 293. NTPC had actually received some positive news flow and Coal Minister has indicated that the government would reallocate 3 coal blocks of NTPC, which were taken away by the government to NTPC back, and we've seen NTPC stock going up over the past few sessions, but we think that there is some more upside. One can go long with a stop loss of 167 and a target of about 175 to 179. SR Oil has received the approval for the exit of the corporate debt restructuring loan facility from its lenders. This is positive for SR Oil, and one can go long with a stop loss of 52.5 and a target of about 55 to 56. Bajaj Auto will be launching a new version of its 650cc sports bike Ninja, and the overall fillers are that the response is going to be good, and it's going to be a high margin product for Bajaj Auto, so one can go long on Bajaj Auto with a stop loss of 1657 and a target of about 1642. Friends, today SBI is likely to be coming out with the numbers, and the overall expectations is that because of the base effect both on the net interest income and the net profit number, there is going to be a sharp improvement. But what really market is looking out for is that what kind of slippages is it going to report. So if the slippages are more than 5,000 crore, then the stock could actually react very negatively. And also friends, SBI has been reporting good improvement in the net interest margins over the past few quarters. So if there is any negative tick on the net interest margins, then also there could be a negative reaction, and already the market is a bit cautious ahead of its numbers, and which is why we saw that the SBI stock actually went down by almost 4 to 4.5%. So this is what we have to say about the SBI's numbers. That's it from all of us, friends. Have a great weekend and see you on Monday morning.